Good evening, and welcome to Delaware's 45th Annual Teacher of the Year Awards Ceremony. This program, first introduced in 1965, continues its fine tradition of announcing the best of the best in public education. Tonight, Delaware's Department of Education is proud to introduce to you the 19 candidates for Delaware's Teacher of the Year for 2009. Since the beginning of the school year, observers, readers, and judges have descended upon the lives of 19 of Delaware's best teachers. Visits by both a videographer and still photographer followed, forever capturing the essence of these 19 candidates inside their environment, their classrooms, the classrooms of which you will soon see. Tonight, we are proud to present to you each candidate, identified alphabetically by county and by school district. I now ask you to sit back and enjoy tonight's presentation. Our first candidate is Janet Andrelzik, Cape Henlopen School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
Yes? Call on somebody else for us?
The person who most affected my career was my 11th grade English teacher, Pam Fitzgerald. I had been one of those students who had always had does not work to potential on their report card, and she recognized something special in me. She was an awesome teacher, and she singled me out for special assignments because she realized my potential. So I dedicate my teaching career to Pam Fitzgerald, who made the first step in my lifelong achievement. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do after I graduated from college. She told me of her exploits in becoming a teacher and made me realize that that was exactly what I wanted to do. If I could make one kid feel different the way she made me feel special, my career would be perfect.
What else you need to do? Yeah? 2 more. And you have not been up yet?
Janet has 6 years' experience and currently teaches grade 7 English language arts at Mariner Middle School in Milton. Our next candidate is Lin MacPhail Delmar School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
This past year I had a group of 27 kids, and 18 of them were boys, so it was quite a rambunctious class. And there were some ringleaders in there, and of course, you know, we had days that we had trouble with listening. And so I stopped them all one day and I said, okay, everybody, you know, put your hand up like this. And when everybody did that, I said, I want you to listen to me. And I said, I want you to take your finger and your thumb and I want you to put it on your chin. And they were all watching me. And I said, this is not your chin. This is your chin. See, you're not listening, okay? And one of the kids in the class went, damn, she got us. And I looked at him, and he goes, I said, dang. And I said, I thought that's what you said. And not only did I get them to listen, but they learned that there were battles I was willing to fight, and one little slip of the tongue was not going to get a detention. They learned the lesson I needed them to learn. And I just think we choose our battles carefully, and sometimes by doing, every time I went like this after that, the class would just stop and everybody watched and everybody listened for what I was about to say. And all of them would start doing this. It just became our signal.
Lynn has 9 years experience and currently teaches grade 7 English Language Arts at Delmar Middle School in Delmar. Michaellingenfelter is Indian River School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
My first year of teaching, I showed up for the assembly, and pretty much my kids just filed into the cafeteria, turned their seats around backwards, sat down. I mean, I really didn't have any control early on in my teaching career, and I never really felt like I was alone, though. We had a team of teachers I taught with at Selbyville Middle School, Marge Orndorff, and many like her who really had a lot of impact on me as far as the control of the classroom. Teaching at Selbyville is awesome. We have a team of 5 teachers who have so much energy and so much charisma. Tim Clausen was on The Biggest Loser, national television. We have Sharon Crandall, we have Jesse Steele, and Teresa O'Shields. They're an awesome team to work with. The power that we all draw off each other, it impacts the kids every day. And we are very, very fortunate to have each other, because that's who we draw our power from. So great times working at Selbyville Middle School.
Michael has 17 years experience and currently teaches 6th grade mathematics at Selbyville Middle School in Selbyville. Our next candidate from Sussex County is Robert Todd, Laurel School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
We all have people in our lives who are influential to us. And I guess as teachers, I would have to say the most important person in my life who affected my career was actually my 6th grade teacher. We always have teachers that we go back and we look upon. This woman, Mrs. Mesner, she was a wonderful person. She was there to take the time. She cared about the children. She knew that I had an interest in education, so she would always give me dittos and things for me to take home to play school with. She was a wonderful individual, and I hope that I am making her proud by what I'm doing here today. Okay, excellent. Does anybody else have a response written about Mara and Tina and the community members? Okay, thank you. Telling people what's going on around them. Maya.
Robert has 20 years experience and currently teaches 3rd grade special education at North Laurel Elementary School in Laurel. Our next candidate is Jennifer Leonard, Seaford School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
The individual who greatly influenced my career was my high school English teacher, Mr. Marvel. He instructed us in 12th grade English, and he did things a little bit differently than other teachers did. A lot of teachers in 12th grade English would have direct instruction, but Mr. Marvel was not like that. He provided hands-on instruction and engaging activities that really had us motivated as students. A lot of my peers really dreaded going to English class in high school, but he made learning fun. And before I knew it, even though prior to his class I was unsure of what career I wanted to choose, by the end of the year, he informed me how to become a really good teacher, and I wanted to touch students' lives the way that he touched ours.
Jennifer has 5 years experience and currently teaches grade 7 English Language Arts at Seaford Middle School in Seaford. From Sussex Technical School District, Deborah Kenton is Sussex Tech's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
I would say one person who has affected my career as an educator is Dr. Sue Fox of Wesley College. She was not only my advisor, but one of my main professors, and even now, a friend. She took us to places in college that I never thought I would get to go to. Virginia, California, Ireland. She encouraged us to learn about the places, the people, the culture, the architecture, everything. And she instilled that desire in us to continue to learn, even once we were done with her class. However, the one thing that's really had an influence on my career as an educator has been my family. I come from a family of educators and people who support education. My dad was a longtime school board member, my mom an elementary librarian assistant, and my brother and sister teachers as well.
Deborah has 6 years' experience and currently teaches social studies in grades 9 through 12 at Sussex Technical High School in Georgetown. Our last candidate from Sussex County is Karin Breeding, Woodbridge School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
To actually run the cows through the chute, we're going to have one group checking the vital signs.
The greatest experience I've had as an educator is being allowed to create and build the animal science facility at Woodbridge High School. Not only the facility, but the curriculum. Having this facility, which is a 7,000 square foot barn with live animals for my students to gain hands-on experience, has allowed me to watch my students grow into the leaders that hopefully they will be for us. Animal science is a field that really isn't taken seriously, but through the ability and the experience of providing this facility and curriculum to my students, I have watched them gain experiences that will help them for a lifetime. The students are able to work with our cows and our sheep and our pigs. They learn leadership and teamwork. And for me, this has been the greatest experience, watching them succeed, whether at the Delaware State Fair or simply just learning how to give an injection. Watching the smile cross their face as they realize that they've actually accomplished a goal that they thought was going to be unreachable.
Karin has 5 years teaching experience and currently teaches grades 9 through 12 agri-science at Woodbridge High School in Bridgeville. Our first candidate from Kent County is Sherry Burgled, Caesar Rodney School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
I began my idea to be a teacher from very early on. I remember my first memories are sitting at home playing school as a kindergartner, getting ready for the kindergarten bus. But my idea and my dream came to a definite, this is what I'm going to be, when I entered third grade. In third grade, I was lucky enough to have a lady named Mrs. Judy Aylward. Mrs. Aylward saw something greater in myself than I was able to see. She pushed me and she cared about me. And it was that from that time on, I knew teaching was what I was going to do. That's what I wanted to become. That was what my dream was. And so to all of the people that have influenced and helped me mold that dream and have it come to a reality, I thank them. And thank you to Mrs. Aylward for helping me reach my dreams.
Sherry has 15 years teaching experience and is a reading support teacher in grades 3 through 5 at W.B. Simpson Elementary School in Camden, Wyoming. Our next candidate is Janice Hadley, Capital School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
Okay. Let's look at the top. The person that affected my career the most was my kindergarten teacher, Miss Boyle. I loved her bright yellow shirt dress that she wore. She had the neatest things in the classroom. We had a birthday basket. We had fat pencils. We had our own crayons. Dick and Jane would come out every day. There was the Think and Do book we worked in. And children were crying. I could never understand what they were crying about. I thought it was great. And then there was the thinking chair. I really never spent any time in it, although Michael did a lot. He talked. He got in trouble, but I didn't. I just talked. And I think now, as I look back, I was probably closer to sitting in that thinking chair than I realized. Miss Boyle made me feel that teaching was what I wanted to do. And from that moment on, that's what I decided. And I went to college, and I did become a teacher, and I've been happy ever since that I did that.
Janice has 15 years experience and currently teaches 4th grade at Fairview Elementary School in Dover. Our next candidate is Mark Teasdale, Lake Forest School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
One of the greatest moments in my career happened in spring of 2002. One of our parents sent in a news clipping from a local paper that said no schools in Delaware had entered the Oscar Mayer Wiener Schoolhouse Rocks contest. It was a contest where your students had to videotape a performance of one of the Oscar Mayer songs and send it in to the company. Well, we sent one in, and about a month later, we heard that we had won for the state of Delaware. That gave us a visit from the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile, some gifts for the students, and a check for $10,000 for our music program. The money we received from that contest has helped our students over the years with purchasing new music, instruments, and equipment for the chorus.
Come on and make those walls ring. Songs that you'll sing right out, and songs that are quiet. Songs that sing by day and some by night. So go with the music and sing. Go with the music and sing.
Mark has 25 years' experience and currently teaches general music and chorus in grades 4 and 5 at Lake Forest Central Elementary School in Felton. Our next candidate is Jody Messick, Milford School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
What we were talking about yesterday. We talked about a statement, and yesterday we started...
Affected my career the most? Well, I think over the years there have been many people. However, there have been a few students along the way that have really touched my life. They have been those students who have come in as rough children, and over the course of the year it's been a delight to be teaching them and working with them. They have always been the one to cling to you, get angry with you one day, the next minute they're loving on you, and Mrs. Messick, I can't live without you, and you're the best. And it's just kids like that over the years that make you want to teach and make you come back every year to do more and more of it.
Okay? That's what I would say. Number 4.
Jody has 10 years' experience and currently teaches first grade at the Evelyn Morris Childhood Center in Lincoln. Our next candidate is Virginia Terzak, Polytech School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
I have a cousin who is mentally disabled, and we grew up together, and there were no schools that met her needs at that time. And as I've watched her grow and as we've grown together, I've noticed that I've always felt that something was missing in her life, that she had so much potential that was never capitalized on because of lack of education. So when I had the opportunity to major in special education in college, I knew it was where I needed to be. I knew I could make a difference, and I knew life could be better for so many other people that would have an opportunity that my cousin never had.
Virginia has 29 years' experience and currently teaches science and English special education in grades 9 and 10 at Polytech High School in Woodside. Our final candidate from Kent County is Lauren Shanklin, Smyrna School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
Nice camera.
All right, slowly blend. When I was in high school, I never really thought that I was going to be a teacher, let alone a physical education teacher. But as time passed, I realized that my whole life was consumed by athletics. And I started thinking about things and about how much I learned on the athletic field, and how I learned probably as much or more on the athletic field as I did in the classroom. I learned dedication, perseverance, sportsmanship, getting along with others, working together. There were so many lessons that I learned on that field that I realized that as a physical education teacher, I would be able to teach these lessons to all students, not just ones that were athletically gifted, but to students of all levels through my physical education lessons. And to me, this was just what I was meant to do. Bouncing the beanbag, okay, on different parts of our body. And we're gonna start off. No, I don't mean that kind of bouncing. I mean like bounce, like having good balance.
With 6 years teaching experience, Lauren currently teaches physical education in grades K through 4 at Clayton Elementary School in Clayton. Our first candidate from Newcastle County is Deborah Kirk, Appoquinimink School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
The the most memorable events in my teaching career, believe it or not, occurred just yesterday. The opening day of the Appoquinimink School District offers the opportunity for the current Teacher of the Year to address the entire staff of the district. Being an alumni of the Appoquinimink School District, it was an honor for me to stand before the staff and to pay tribute to the teachers that had influenced my life. It was very moving as I asked any member of Appoquinimink alumni to stand in the audience and to look around the room and see how many faces had been influenced by the special educators in our district. It is an honor and a privilege to represent the district that I call home, and I look forward to working with the students in the upcoming year.
Deborah has 10 years experience and currently teaches agri-science in grades 6 through 8 at Lewis Reading Middle School in Middletown. Our next candidate is Kathleen Gilbert, Brandywine School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
I have to say that the one person who greatly influenced me in going into the teaching profession was my father. He had a passion for learning that he passed on to his family. Every outing that we would take turned into an adventure, whether it was collecting leaves in order to go to the library to look up what kind of leaves we had found, or even just trying to fix a leak under the sink and learning what the tools were and how to go about doing that. He always did it with fun, did it as though it wasn't a chore, and approached it as though it was a game. And my only hope is that I can pass that passion on to my students so that they have lifelong learning experience, the same that I have had, so that they don't see learning as limited to school, but it is something that we do every day within our lives.
Kathleen has 9 years experience and currently teaches grade 8 English Language Arts at Springer Middle School in Wilmington. Our next candidate is Gretchen Wolfe, Christina School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
The most influential person to me was probably my third grade teacher, Mrs. Williams. Mrs. Williams opened up a world of learning for me, and she was the reason I became a teacher. She had a way of making learning very interesting and fun, and she was a role model and example for me, and my teaching career is kind of an homage to Mrs. Williams, and I hope that I can become half the teacher that she was.
Back on the ground, stand up tall and march around. We're marching around the alphabet, around the alphabet. We're passing letters from
With 13 years experience, Gretchen teaches first grade at Henry Brader Elementary School in Newark. Our next candidate is Jennifer Lynn Bonham, Colonial School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
So Chris, do me a favor, pick any two numbers.
One of the greatest experiences that I've had in my teaching career occurred just this year. I've been fortunate enough to work in a classroom setting where I have both regular ed and special ed students together. And I've also been fortunate enough to have plenty of technology in my classroom. This year I've been using the Navigators, which is a system that hooks my calculators up to my computer through a wireless system. And it portrays the students' responses up on the board without showing their names or anything else, just their responses to the math question. Well, the students have been able to use that as a way to find their own misconceptions and correct it themselves without my having to explain what they did wrong. And just to see the pride and joy on some of my special ed kids' face as they can explain to that honor student what mistake was made and how it happened has just been a real joy to see.
Jennifer has 11 years experience and currently teaches mathematics in grades 10 through 12 at William Penn High School in Newcastle. Our next candidate in Newcastle County is Justin Benz, Newcastle County Vocational Technical School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
All right, the person that affected me the most in my teaching career would definitely be Bill McIntosh. I left industry as an environmental consultant and was thinking I really wanted to work with teaching. I didn't know how to start. Went to Delaware State University looking for something and ran into Dr. Mack, and he needed a teaching assistant. And I'll tell you that definitely made me want to teach. I worked teaching undergraduate geology and earth science, and once I started working with him and also helping develop some curriculum when we first put all the standards back in the late 90s, that really got me excited about it. Worked on projects building up curriculum for elementary students on astronomy and a whole other host of other things. So putting all those things together and seeing all the relevance, making the light bulb come on from students there at Delaware State University made me really want to be a teacher, and that's why I'm doing it today.
Justin has 8 years' experience and currently teaches environmental landscape technology at Paul Hodson Votech High School in Newark. Our 19th and final candidate is Barbara Pearlman, Red Clay Consolidated School District's Teacher of the Year for 2009.
I believe that the reason why I'm a teacher, or why I came to be a teacher, is based on my experience with the United States Peace Corps. I lived in a very small town in the Ecuadorian Andes Mountains, and when I was there, the people took me in and helped me learn the language. When they did that, they actually instilled in me the feeling that I needed to do something later on for others in regard to this experience. And that is what brought me into my classroom today. I believe that it is destiny about why I am where I am now. People helped me acquire a new language, and that is exactly what I am doing today in my classroom, helping newcomers or English language learners, young adolescents that have just recently arrived to this country, acclimate themselves to a new school system, a new country, a new culture, and a new way of life. I am where I am because of what happened to me.
Barbara has 11 years' experience and currently teaches ELL, Social Studies, and English Language Arts at the Conrad Schools of Science in Wilmington. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our pleasure to present to you the 19 candidates vying for the distinction of becoming Delaware's Teacher of the Year for 2009.